Hi, it's Mike from the Run Testers. It is a day after the Marrakech Half Marathon. There's a medal, you can see, t-shirt at the back. Wanted to give my little Run Testers verdict on the race, how I found it, kind of the build-up, actually the race itself, and also just give you a few of my tips and kind of things I found out being out here, getting prepped to do the run. So here's how I found it. So the first stuff I'll get into is kind of the pre-race stuff, and that's kind of including kind of collecting your bibs, which I think, is a kind of important bit when you're in another country and how that all kind of works. And generally, pretty fine. I'm not staying in the centre of Marrakech, which actually has benefited me in terms of the kind of distance I've had to walk for the race itself, and it's going to collect my race bib. I'm actually staying in which is away from Medina, which is kind of the main bit where the square is and stuff. So it's about 10 minutes walk for me to have gone to get my my race bib. If you're staying in the centre of town, it's probably going to take 15-20 minutes, but ultimately you can walk, and it's quite easy to kind of walk and get there. I went on the Friday morning, and to be honest, it's quite small. There's not a massive amount going on there. I did have to print off my registration form, which is a bit odd because people seem to be using their phones to kind of check in. In terms of what was there, I can't really call it an expo, but mainly dominated by places to kind of get your medals inscribed after the race, and kind of personalised elements of memories for your run, but not really much in the way of kind of exhibitors and running brands that I saw. So it still feels quite small scale for a race, and obviously this is for a full marathon and a half marathon as well, so relatively big. But yeah, in terms of the picking up of the bibs and stuff like that, pretty straightforward. Just I wouldn't expect too much in terms of what's going to be there. And yeah, let's kind of get into what the race was like. So as I said, I wasn't staying in the middle of Marrakech, but actually it benefited me because it meant I could walk to the start of the race. It was about 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk. Google Maps will say 20 minutes, but if you're a runner, it's probably going to be a little quicker for you to walk. When I got there, pretty straightforward. It took a while to get to where I needed to be, just funneling through with people. But the biggest issue was the bag drop, or should I say the lack of it. Now I don't know still right now, the day later, if there was a bag drop, but I could not find it. People were kind of directing me, saying, "Hey, you can drop your bag." And when I found someone and asked another person, they were like, "There's no bag drop." Which, for a big race like this, it's abroad and you're kind of attracting runners from other countries. It's a bit disappointing, and it wasn't very well communicated. Ultimately, in my situation, I had to rely on strangers to look after my bag, which had my kind of recovery stuff and my extra clothes, and they kept it in their car, which was very nice of them. I obviously didn't feel massively comfortable about doing that. So if I was to come back, I would hope they'd have some kind of bag drop situation or zone, or and if there was one, just make it clear that where it is. But as far as I knew, there wasn't one, so I had to leave my bag with strangers, which didn't put me in a great mindset at the start line. But yeah, everything apart from that, which is quite a big thing, was pretty straightforward in terms of getting to the start line and getting ready, and then getting ready to run the race around 9:30. So I was at the start line and my head's a little bit all over the place because of the whole bag thing. But once it gets to kind of 9:30 and I'm kind of a little bit calmer, I'm just ready to kind of run and, if anything, run a bit quicker. which to be honest was the perfect course to kind of run a quick time. It's pretty flat, all roads. It's a bit zigzaggy at the beginning, probably the first 2 to 3 miles, which can make it a little bit congested and having to kind of force you to get up on the pavement as opposed to the road. But once you hit about 4-5 mile point, you get an absolutely beautiful kind of view of the Atlas Mountains in the background. And if you're kind of struggling or to get motivated, early parts of the race, that kind of 5 to 6, 7 miles is amazing, and I felt amazing, and you could see it was well supported, and you could take yourself away from the environment. In terms of the kind of drink stations, pretty well kind of set out. Every kind of 5k, generally water, kind of oranges, or not really gels. To be honest, didn't see many gels. There were sponges if you wanted to kind of cool down, as it did start to get a bit warmer later in the race. But generally just a really nice flat course that kind of pulled you back to the start, so easy to kind of get your bearings back through a lot of kind of bigger hotels in Marrakech. But very flat. As I said, there was that point around 5 miles and for 2 or 3 miles where you just get some amazing views that kind of make it worthwhile making the trip. And generally not really much to complain about the race and course itself, just the lack of the bag drop, which fortunately I did manage to get my bag back thanks to the local guys who kind of helped me out there and looked after everything. And I've got the medal's not too bad either. As you can see, I mean, there's not much going on the kind of front there, but quite a nice little medal. Not a great amount in the race pack, but at that point I was just glad to have got it done before it got really hot. Felt for the marathon runners that were still going, but generally really good, flat, quick course. I think a lot of people will set PBs on, so there you go. There's my kind of take on the Marrakech Half Marathon. So, run tester's verdict on the Marrakech Half Marathon. So the race itself I really enjoyed. It's nice and flat, and the course is lovely. Some great kind of scenes, and you can definitely get some quick PBs on here. Outside of that, and outside of the race itself, the time I spent, it's been mixed. I've had some kind of not very nice experiences which has kind of tainted my time in Marrakech, which is a shame because I've met some really nice people, but there's also been some instances where I felt very pressured as a tourist to kind of spend money or be kind of scammed, and conned, which it's something you don't like to have or feel when you're in another country, which is a shame because I don't want to generalise about everyone that I've met in Marrakech because there has been some really nice people, but ultimately there's been some kind of very not nice things that happened. So the race itself, really enjoyed it. Marrakech, it's maybe I'll come back, but I don't think I'll be back in a hurry if I'm being honest, or spend a massive amount of time. So the race itself, from a run test perspective, really enjoyed my time in Marrakech. Maybe not so much, and there's definitely room for improvement in terms of making this race a bit better for tourists to get to grips with, and just generally for runners locally as well. So obviously I wanted to share a few tips about Marrakech Half Marathon, some about the race, some about the area if you do decide to come out. In terms of the race, obviously there's the bag drop situation. Hopefully that will change for next year, but if you can do without taking your bag, definitely do that until that's kind of changed. In terms of where you stay, obviously where I stayed in Quillet, it's a little bit closer and easy to walk to and walk back, whereas If you're staying in Medina in the centre, you might struggle to get a taxi, or it might take you a little bit longer, especially if your legs are aching and you're eager to get back to your hotel and kind of get cleaned up. In terms of Marrakech itself, some really important things that I've learned in the short space of time. Phone connection is not very good out here, and Wi-Fi as well. There's a reason why there's a lot of people, or you'll see a lot of people queuing up for SIM cards in the airport, and that's because the coverage is not very good. So if you want to use your phone out and about, definitely go and queue up in the airport for those SIM cards, or find a phone shop and buy yourself a SIM card. A couple of places that you should definitely see that I thought kind of weren't really highlighted. The photography museum, which is kind of in the heart of kind of Medina, where the souks are. It's really nice. It's about £5 to get in, which is like 50 dirhams. And if you go all the way up to the terrace, you get an amazing view of the city, and it's great to have a kind of coffee there. And also the Medina Gardens. There's loads of kind of nice botanical gardens that are around that you can kind of walk maybe 15-20 minutes, or get a taxi. I saw most of them. This was kind of the nicest one, mainly because you've got an amazing backdrop of the Atlas Mountains, and you can kind of just sit there and kind of relax and take yourself away from the kind of hustle and bustle of the main town square. And yeah, those are kind of my top tips for Marrakech half marathon or marathon. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about my experiences, let me know in the comments, and as always, like and subscribe, and see you for the next video.